I laughed before I could stop myself. It slipped out, soft, unafraid, right as my sister lifted her hand to show me the ring that used to be mine. The dining room went quiet. My mother's smile froze. My father stared at the table like it might open and swallow him. And the man beside my sister, my former fiancé, flinched because he knew that laugh. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe Huna Stories for more stories. It meant I'd already won. She leaned into him, smug and theatrical. I wanted you to hear it from us, she said, like this was a favor. This is my husband. I nodded. I looked at his suit, tailored a size too tight, at the watch he never paid for, at the woman wearing my wedding dress, altered badly at the waist. Then I looked at him finally and smiled. Congratulations, I said. You married my debt. The story didn't start there. It started years ago, with the kind of love that makes you careless. I met him in a bookstore cafe. He asked for my pen. I gave him my number. He talked about markets like they were chessboards. He said he admired my patience. I believed him. When he proposed, he did it quietly, without an audience, because he knew I hated spectacle. My sister cried louder than anyone. My parents called him a catch. I told myself that meant something. I left to volunteer overseas for 6 months. Water systems, clinics, long days, weak signal. I trusted them to keep things moving. I trusted my sister to help with fittings. I trusted my parents to guard the house. I trusted the man who promised he'd wait. The first sign came as a joke from a stranger online. A congratulatory message. Wrong date, wrong name. I dismissed it. Then a second. Then a photo. My sister's hands unmistakable on a familiar sleeve. I didn't rage. I didn't call. I asked for more. Time zones are useful when you need distance. I watched quietly as patterns formed. Joint dinners, bank notifications forwarded to the wrong email, a change of address form filed while I was gone. They thought absence meant ignorance. It meant clarity. The marriage license was public. The dates sat neatly in the middle of my absence. My parents' signatures were there as witnesses. I stared at the PDF until my hands stopped shaking. Then I breathed slow, measured. I didn't confront them. I planned. The man they married wasn't the man they thought they were stealing. 3 months before I left, I'd moved my assets into a blind trust, not because I distrusted him, but because I trusted myself. My grandmother taught me that love is a feeling, not a contract. He signed a prenup he never read. He laughed when I suggested separate accounts. He always laughed when he thought he'd won. I let him believe my wealth was liquid. It wasn't. It was layered, protected, conditional. While overseas, I contacted my attorney, then my accountant, then his former partner, the one he'd buried under an NDA and a smile. We compared notes. I learned the truth he hid behind tailored suits, leveraged bets, quiet defaults, a lawsuit waiting for a name to attach itself to. So I gave it one. I returned home early. I said nothing. I filed quietly. I notified the bank of unauthorized access. I reported identity misuse, because forging my signature is still a crime, even if you share blood. I let the dominoes line up. They held a welcome back dinner, the kind meant to corner you. My sister wore my dress. My parents rehearsed their explanations. He practiced his apology face in the mirror. That's when she introduced him as her husband. That's when I laughed. Tell her, I said to him gently. Tell her what you married into. His jaw tightened. He said nothing, so I did. You see, I continued, folding my hands, the accounts you think are mine are empty. The properties are owned by the trust. The trust dissolves upon breach, like fraud or infidelity or impersonation. I turned to my parents. You witnessed a felony. My sister's smile cracked. You're lying. I slid my phone across the table. The lawsuit filing, his former partner's affidavit, the bank's notice, the prenup clause highlighted in yellow. She read fast. She always did. Her breath caught when she understood. He stood abruptly. I can explain. No, I said. You can't, but you can listen. I told them about the debt, the liens, the court date scheduled under his, now her, last name. I told them how marriage made it communal, how the ring she flaunted was collateral, how the house they moved into was never his to give. My mother cried then. Real tears. My father didn't look at me. My sister reached for him, frantic. He stepped away. The silence was surgical. A week later, the annulment attempt failed. Too late. The paperwork was clean. The signatures were real. Love doesn't void contracts. Consequences don't care about intent. He called me once, voicemail only. He sounded smaller. I deleted it. My sister moved back home. She avoids mirrors now. My parents hired a lawyer. It didn't help. Some choices don't come with exits. I didn't take anything from them. I let the system do what it was designed to do when fed the truth. Justice isn't loud. It's precise. Sometimes it looks like laughter in a quiet room. Sometimes it looks like a woman standing alone, lighter than she's been in years, knowing that the trail taught her exactly how strong she already was. The man she married was never rich. He was just expensive, and I let her pay. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe Huna Stories for more stories.